Hello friend, welcome to my YouTube channel Electrical Boost. Today we are going to discuss what is the Faraday law of electromagnetic induction. What is the Faraday law of electromagnetic induction? This is the basic law. This is the basic fundamental law which is used in electrical field. It is help to what is the interaction between magnetic field and electric circuit. It is basically give the concept what is the relation between magnetic field and electric circuit. Okay. Also it provide brief knowledge about how a EMF will generate, how the EMF will generate. This fundamental operating principle work on transformer, inductor or other motor and generator. Okay, this law used in this type of device in electrical circuit. Okay, Faraday law is two type. One is the first law and another is the second law. First we go to the first law of Faraday law of electromagnetic induction. First law. In this law we find how the EMF will induce. This law says that when any change in magnetic field, any change in magnetic field, if this flux will cut a conductor an EMF will induce in that conductor. What is the if any change in magnetic field, let this is a magnet, let this is north pole and another is south pole. Let we take a coil, like this. He say if anything that magnetic for this magnet will produce some fluxes. Okay, let this flux like this, okay, let this flux like this. Okay, if this flux will change, this means the magnet will towards this and towards this side. Then the change in flux will caught with this coil. If change in flux caught with this coil induce an EMF. Let we connect a galvanometer. We can easily see what amount of the voltage will induce. If any changes, you can change also this magnet. If you can change the magnet, then also EMF induce. If you change the coil, towards the magnet and away from the magnet, this will also generate the EMF. EMF is the electromotive force. This is also generate the EMF. Okay. In this case, that is the speed, that is the change is relative motion between this magnetic field and this coil, this magnetic field and this coil. You need to a relative motion in this coil. And EMF induced, if you close this circuit, if you close the circuit, if you close the circuit, close the circuit, then current will flow, current will flow. You take maybe in some electromagnet, also you can take this permanent magnet. Okay, you can move anywhere that need some relative motion between coil and magnetic field. Okay, if you move this upward and downward or any rotation, that will be generate some EMF. Okay, this is the first law. In this law we discuss how EMF induced in that coil. Okay, in this coil. Okay, and then we discuss the second law. Second law derive what amount of EMF is induced. What amount of EMF is induced? Okay, it states that the magnitude of EMF, this EMF, the magnitude of the EMF induced. What amount of EMF induced, that magnitude in the coil, is equal to the rate of change of flux, that linkage to the coil, What this law? It said that the magnitude of EMF induced in the coil, what amount of magnitude of the EMF is equal to the rate of change of flux that linkage to coil. What time interval the flux will link with the conductor, link with this conductor or this coil. This is decide the magnitude of the conductor. You can just write E equal to d phi by dt, okay, and this flux linkage depend upon the number of coil turn. Let you can move this side, then it will be this, that's not linkage. Okay, this is not linkage. Okay, you can just write the linkage flux equal to how much? N phi. Here N is the number of conductor, number of turns in the coil. You can just write E equal to N d phi by dt, but actually the formula is E equal to minus N d phi by dt. This is the final derivation of second law. Why the minus sign? This is the because of Lenz's law. We discuss later what is the Lenz's law. Okay, what is the Lenz's law? Lenz's law is the opposition of the product. Okay. Here one thing need to induce EMF, one thing the relative motion between electric circuit and or electric coil and magnetic field. Relative motion need, okay, it is the necessity to need a relative motion, either the magnet can move or a coil can move. This principle used in transformer and motor or generator, whatever the electric machine you see in day-to-day life, this law is used in that device. Okay, you need to understand what is the basic law of Faraday law of electromagnetic induction. I hope all of you are understand clearly. If any doubt, please comment me. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.